What if I told you that the next thought you think could radically change your life? It's not science fiction. It's karma. And today, we're revealing the secrets. In less than 3 minutes, you'll discover why every choice, every like, and even every scroll is already writing the script of your future. And above all, how to rewrite it to your advantage. Stay with me until the end. I'll show you Yogananda's method for burning negative karma and igniting your inner freedom with a practical exercise that you can do right after the video. If this video lights the spark, like subscribe to the channel and write in the comments, I'm rewriting my karma. Do you want to do even more? Subscribe to support our work and help us bring ever better content. Share it with those you want to enlighten.
When we hear the word karma, most of us think, do good and you will receive good. Do bad and you will have to face the consequences. But Yogananda taught that karma is not just about action. It is something much deeper, subtler, and more spiritual. Karma, he said, is the subtle seed behind every thought, emotion, and action. Once planted, the soul must eventually experience the result. Like it or not, every time we think, speak, or act, it doesn't just happen on the outside. We leave an imprint on our consciousness, and those imprints become our destiny. If you hurt someone with words, you do not only hurt him, you vibrate something inside you. A disturbance that will later return to you in the form of suffering. That is why yoga says, you cannot escape karma, but you can transform it. Your present actions are already shaping your future, just as a gardener plants seeds that will determine the fruits he will reap. Today's choices are creating your tomorrow. Why does karma bind the soul? Yogananda explained that the soul is naturally free, but when it becomes entangled in desires and actions, karma creates bondage. Unfulfilled desires and incomplete experiences continue to drag it into the cycle of birth and death. The conscious mind may forget, but the soul remembers everything. Every emotion, reaction, and gesture is stored as a memory pattern that determines the next step in this vast journey. There are 3 types of karma. According to Yogananda, they are sanchita karma, the accumulated karma of all past lives that has not yet manifested. Prarabdha karma, the part of karma that is unfolding in this life, your present destiny. Kriyamana karma, the actions you are doing now that will shape your future. Yogananda emphasized that kriyamana karma, the conscious choices of this moment, is the point where freedom begins. Karma arises where desire lives. If a desire remains unfulfilled, it calls the soul back into the world. Therefore, liberation begins where desire ends. Karma is not erased simply by doing good deeds. True transformation happens with conscious living and deep meditation. When the mind becomes quiet, the seed of karma begins to burn. The mind calms down and the soul remembers its freedom. Every action brings with it spiritual energy, and the energy does not disappear. It must return. The fundamental question is not just what have I done, but did it bring me closer to the divine or separate me from it? If the action arises from greed, anger, ego, or hatred, it binds the soul. If it arises from love, service, sacrifice, or compassion, it elevates it toward the infinite. Good and evil are not measured by social standards, but by the vibration they create in the soul. Karma depends on the intention as well as the action. If you feed a hungry person but feel pride or disgust, that act still binds you. If you act out of selfless love, it purifies the soul. It is not only what you do that matters, but how you feel while doing it. Every action generates a wave of energy that travels through the universe and eventually returns. Sometimes the result is immediate. Other times it takes years or lifetimes. This is why we speak of the cycle of karma. Karma does not bear fruit instantly. Like a seed that must mature, some outcomes come immediately. Others pursue the soul through many lives. What you face now, in good times and in bad, may be the echo of past existences. The goal is not just to do good deeds, but to do them without attachment. Selfless service is liberating karma. No karma is final. All negative karma can be burned through sincere repentance and devotion to God. Practices such as deep meditation, selfless service, inner prayer, and above all, ardent devotion gradually dissolve karmic bonds. The Kriya Yoga meditation, taught by Yogananda, elevates the soul to the point where the grip of karma loosens. In stillness, the karmic seeds burn away and the soul tastes original freedom. Karma is not a condemnation, but a spiritual educational system lovingly designed by the divine to evolve the soul. By bringing awareness to your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you begin to rewrite your karmic history. What you experience now is the result of past karmas, but the future will depend on what you choose today. The soul never dies. It sheds old clothes and puts on new ones. This is birth and death. Rebirth occurs because of unfulfilled desires and unfinished karmas. As long as there are unfinished business, love, money, status, the soul returns to continue the journey, learn what it has not learned, and ultimately know God. Latent desires become karmic imprints that the soul carries with it into the next life. This is why some people are born with particular talents, unusual fears, or specific habits. Yogananda compares rebirth to a cosmic projector that projects the soul's karmic film onto the screen of a new life. Universal energy reveals the karmic frames and a new chapter begins. You are not helpless. Through conscious living and sincere spiritual practice, you can take your karmic destiny into your own hands. There will come a day, after sufficient purification and awakening, when the soul will be free from the wheel of birth and death. Until then, karma binds us, unless we raise our consciousness. We all carry burdens of karma, heavy or light, but karma can be burned. Meditation is not just relaxation. It is a sacred fire that purifies the soul. When you go deep, consciousness rises from the ego to the soul. Karmic knots are loosened, old burdens dissolve. Negative habits, fears, desires, attachments, and impressions of past lives. Yogananda explains that your next life is not random. This is no coincidence. It is a direct result of your previous karmic blueprint, a script written by your own consciousness. Who your parents will be, what country you will be born in, whether you will inherit health or disease, beauty or hardship, everything is shaped by the karmic vibrations you have carried with you. How long does karma bind the soul? Until it understands that nothing in this world is permanent, and until it rises above all desires, surrendering completely to the divine. The cycle of rebirth continues. Yogananda called this cycle Maya, the great illusion in which the soul forgets its divine origin and becomes trapped in the body, identity, name, and earthly attachments. But there is a fire that can dissolve these bonds, the fire of meditation, which burns karma like the sun melts ice. Yogananda taught his disciples Kriya Yoga, a sacred meditation technique that rapidly accelerates the soul's journey toward liberation. Karma, he explained, is not a punishment set in stone, but a subtle record of impressions stored in the mind. In deep meditation, by entering into silence and stillness, you access the space beyond the ego, where karma cannot reach you and the soul remains intact. Every time you meditate, you begin to free yourself from its grip.
Devotion, the most powerful path beyond karma.
Yogananda said that where there is true devotion, God Himself descends. When you invoke the divine from your heart, chant His name with love, and turn to Him in every circumstance, joy or sorrow, grace flows and can change the direction of your karma. Devotion has the power to prevent even the germination of karmic seeds. Divine grace transcends karma. Suppose we have generated harmful karma in a past life that is destined to bring suffering in this one. Through devotion, meditation, and selfless service, that impact can be reduced or even transformed. The grace of God is superior to the karmic law. It is not just a poetic idea, it is a spiritual truth. Devotion elevates the soul to such an extent that the force of karma becomes weak, almost negligible.
The sacred balance, devotion plus meditation.
Yogananda taught that meditation leads to silence, to the still center of being, while devotion connects you to the divine through love. When both walk together, the deep layers of ignorance and karmic darkness begin to burn away. It doesn't always happen quickly, but it's inevitable. Those who sincerely seek God and practice meditation and devotion will see karma fade away to a bygone chapter that no longer defines the soul's journey.
Can you burn all your karma?
Yes, but it requires intense spiritual effort and unshakable faith in God. Some karmas have to be lived because they are too advanced. Even then, devotion and meditation lessen the pain. Those not yet manifested can be completely burned. Meditation and devotion are not just practices, They are the doors of liberation.
The final liberation from karma.
The karmic web that holds the soul from countless lives can be dissolved only through remembrance of the divine and spiritual awareness. When the mind is silent and the heart rests in divine love, karma begins to dissolve and the soul begins to fly.
How to get lasting freedom from karma.
Have you ever wondered if you can be free from this endless cycle of birth and death? According to Yogananda, the answer is absolutely yes, but only when the soul awakens and understands the true purpose of life. Freeing yourself from karma does not mean that you stop acting. It means that your actions are no longer driven by ego, greed, fear, or ignorance. You act with awareness, without attachment, with your soul anchored in God. When the soul realizes, I am not the doer, I am the witness, karma loses all power. Yogananda indicated 3 paths that together lead to total freedom. Jnana Yoga, the path of wisdom, which realizes the unity of the soul with the spirit. Jnana Yoga, deep meditation that elevates consciousness. Bhakti Yoga, the devotion that builds a loving relationship with God. With wisdom, you remove ignorance. With meditation, you calm the mind. With devotion, God comes near. When the 3 unite, the soul reaches a state where no new karma is born, and as its cause ceases, the reason for rebirth vanishes. Every thought, feeling, and action, if done with awareness, can liberate you. When anger arises, respond with love. When longing whispers, choose contentment. When desire tempts, surrender to divine will. This is self-mastery, and in time it cuts the roots of karma. Selfless service, devoid of attachment to results, ceases to bind the soul and begins to liberate it. According to Yogananda, the ultimate state of karmic freedom is samadhi, deep meditative absorption in which the soul merges into its true nature, Sat Chit Ananda, eternal existence, consciousness, and bliss. In this state, there are no thoughts, desires, or karma. The soul knows that it has never been born, that it has never died, that it is the eternal spark of the divine. Yogananda revealed a sacred truth. The Guru is the bridge between the soul and God. Through the grace of the Guru, the seeker receives a strength that he cannot summon alone, the ability to go deeper into meditation, to get up after every fall, to overcome the call of past karma. This grace offers spiritual protection and accelerates the burning of karma.
Could it be a path for ordinary people?
Of course, Yogananda dedicated his life to proclaiming one message: every soul, wherever it may be, can reach God. All it takes is sincere commitment, discipline, and deep devotion. And from the moment you start, from the moment you commit, your karma begins to change. Liberation from karma is not a poetic idea. It's a real goal, possible through meditation, devotion, wisdom, and the grace of a true guru. You are not this body. You are not your karma. You are not the mind. You are the immortal flame of God. The purpose of this life is to return to that divine light, and you can start right now. Friends, we are all trapped in the cycle of birth, death, and karma, but as Yogananda's teachings show, there is a way out. Meditation, devotion, awakening, and the grace of the Guru. They are the 4 inner lamps that can guide us out of the darkness. If anything in this message has touched your heart, make a promise to yourself starting today. Take a few moments each day for God, a few minutes of meditation, small acts of silent service, brief moments of loving remembrance, and little by little, you will free your soul. True freedom is not found outside, it lives inside you.